All right. Hello, everybody. Let me make sure. Let me get everything set up here on our live stream. We got everybody in here. Hello, hello, hello. Let me make sure we are good on we go live on all these different Facebook group. We go live in Instagram. We go live on all these different things, and I never know if it actually turns on, if it actually goes live, if it actually works. So let me double check over here. Are we live in this channel? Unable to connect. Love it. Let's see if we could send the data again over here. So hello everybody. How we doing? And today is let me get on Instagram. I'm over here like starting the stream. I didn't realize I didn't have everybody set up. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me make sure we are live here. Hello on Instagram. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Instagram. So, how are we doing? I think we're live on our Facebook group. If we're not, well, we'll just have to wait till next week because we might have some technical errors. So, one of the things that we are going to be doing today, and hello, if you're tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from. I don't know, Facebook, it's just a pain in the ass. Well, we'll save this for, it's going to be on Instagram and YouTube. So, if you want it, oh well. Well, sorry about that. But, well, here you are. But we are doing a hip mobility focused class. And I did a poll in the stories yesterday, and my glasses are dirty as hell. Did a poll in the stories yesterday and said most people have trouble standing on, it was tied, standing on one leg and sitting crisscross. So hopefully some of the exercises that we do today, some of the mobility things that we do today will be able to address that and have you standing better in one leg and feeling a little bit better when you go ahead and cross your leg. So let me know in the chat where you feel specifically, maybe you're going to feel specifically weaker, maybe on the outside or the inside. And I want you to, before we go ahead and get started, because it's going to be a little bit different than our 20-minute yoga, 20-minute Pilates, is that we're going to really focus on warming up the hips, getting the hips involved, internal rotation, external rotation. And the reason that we're doing this, and we're going to go ahead and get started here in 2 more minutes, 10:05, to get some people tuned in. And the reason that we're doing the hip focus is the fact that, well, I found out that I had an imbalance in my lower back. And I figured, well, if I was doing all these yoga classes these last couple months, the 8 months that we've been doing this, maybe some of you have some of these imbalances as well. So one of the very first things that we are going to address is where you are weak at. We're going to address where you are strong at. And the way that we're going to do this is through a simple 90-90 stretch. So wherever you are at, I want you to sit in a cross-legged pose. And before we go ahead and get started, I want you just to feel, do you feel any tightness with the left leg up over the right? And then maybe you switch, and do you feel any tightness or maybe any more tightness with the right leg over the left? So I want you just to kind of explore and be like, you know what? Lean a little bit forward. Maybe it's a little something. Or maybe it's like, oh yeah, right there. That's definitely the one. Because I want you to make these, how do I say, these images into your head of when we go through a lot of these mobility exercises, because we're going to be doing a lot of different stuff, that you kind of feel, is this spot loosening? Is this spot getting tighter? Is this spot feeling better, right? And just having that mind to muscle control is going to be so beneficial for you. So one of the very first things that we are going to do is we are going to sit on our butt, and we are going to have our heels and our feet up. So essentially what I want you to do is sit up nice and tall, and I want you just to reach and reach. And you're just going and then reach right into the middle. So you're just trying to, if it's hard to just reach the foot, maybe you're just tapping, in tapping. So essentially what we're doing is we're trying to build some heat into the body, into the hips. Maybe you feel this into your hamstrings, but just spend a couple minutes just reaching. I want to say a couple minutes, a couple seconds. We're not going to stay here for a full minute. And tap. And then bring yourself all the way back up. Keep your feet here. And I want you to rotate that leg in and then bring it out. Rotate your opposite leg in and then bring it out. And I want you just from side to side alternating, not trying to do too much, just trying to bring this knee closer to the midline and just feeling anything turning on. Do you feel any pain? Do you feel any stretching? Do you feel, what the heck do you feel? Let's do one more for each side. Warming up the hips. Keep your heels here. Now I want you to do the external. So I want you to drop it all the way out. Bring it in. Drop it all the way out. Bring it in. And again, looking with your mind's eye, trying to take any pictures. Do you feel any tightness? Maybe you do, but it's a little bit more in the left leg when you drop it. Or maybe it's whenever you bring the leg up, right? Keep in mind what the heck is going on here. And let's do one more for each side. And then bring yourself all the way through. Cross your legs. Sit up nice and tall. And I want you to inhale, bring your hands all the way up. Interlace your fingers. Exhale, press through. Give yourself a big stretch. Inhale, exhale, bringing your hands all the way down. One more time. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, stretch, push all the way forward. And bring your hands all the way down. Now this time, I want us to straighten our legs. And we're going to do something a little similar. But I want you to inhale, exhale, try to reach for the toes, come back up. Inhale, exhale, reach for the toe, come back up. Now let's do alternating, where we're just trying to warm up the hamstrings. And if you can't touch your toe, maybe you just touch your foot, you're right below your knee. Maybe you just touch your knee. Whatever is going to be beneficial for you, just making sure that you're bending out of that lower back, feeling that in the hamstring as well. And let's go ahead and do one more. Inhale and exhale to each side and come back up. Now this time we're going to bring our feet together and we're going to do our little our butterfly, Baddha Konasana. And so just really trying to open up the inner hips, sitting up nice and tall. Don't roll your shoulders. Sit up nice and tall, flying away like a butterfly. Breathe in, exhale. And then we're going to go ahead and just leave this right knee bent like so. But we're going to stack this leg like basically right on its foot. And then I want you to drop the foot and the knee all the way down until you get into what we call the 90-90 stretch. So a couple things here. If this feels like discomfort, again, you can always come back to this and then try again. So I just want to preface this now before, because I know we're going to be in this pose or in this position for a little bit, focusing on this. One thing I want you to think of is this back leg. So if I have my right leg forward and I'm sitting up nice and tall, this front leg is what we're going to be working external rotation. Now, the reason I want you to know this is because we're going to try to lift this leg up, the full leg all the way up. And if this feels easy, that means you're stronger in external rotation on the right leg. I'll talk about this again, but this is going to be something for you to figure out where your imbalances are and where we need to strengthen, or basically where you need to strengthen. So hands are going to come down in front of this leg. Sit yourself up nice and tall, and I want you to lift this leg up 10 times. Maybe asking Nick, how the hell do I do that? Well, exhale, lift, lift, lift. And again, this, you might even hear a clunk. You might even hear something going on in your hips. But essentially what you are working is a lot of those fine-tuned stabilizing muscles that you forget about whenever you're doing your exercise. Coming back to simple exercises like this, I was dealing with a tight SI joint, and I found that I was really weak in internal rotation. So the last week, I went ahead, started doing a lot of these different exercises, and my back doesn't hurt. So that's why I feel, let me show you some of this magic so that you would feel, let's do two more, and see how, if you have any imbalances. So now I want you to go ahead and windmill those legs all the way back to the other side. And so now that this back leg is going to be the external rotation, because I only want to focus on the external rotation first. I don't want to confuse you too much. So now your left leg is out in front. Now give you some time to get there. Your left leg is out in front. Your hands come down, sitting up nice and tall. And again, we're going to lift this up 10 times. Inhale, exhale, lift. Exhale, lift. And you might be wondering, how am I getting this leg up so high? Because your leg is only going up like this. It's only doing this. It's okay. If you saw my leg earlier this week, it was not doing this, right? I mean, maybe this side was, but my internal rotation leg, not so much. So let's go ahead and feel, does this left leg feel any different than the right leg? Or are they equally the same, right? I want you to think about that as we're going through here. 2, 1, and rest. Let's all come together. Bring your feet and your knees, and just give your knees a little bit of a hug here. Take a deep breath. Your hips are going to feel completely like new when it's all said and done. And then I want you, now that your knees are here, feet together, drop your feet all the way out, back into that butterfly pose. This is a little different than our normal yoga, Pilates, kind of 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. But this is all going to be focused. Give me something new for the new year. Best part is we're going to do our internal rotation now. This is the part that I struggled with. So we're going to bring our one knee all the way out like we did. And then we're going to bring this knee all the way back. And the reason this is a 90-90 stretch is because you're trying to make a 90-degree angle with your leg here and then your front leg here. So it's going to be up to you. If it feels uncomfortable, again, you can always come into that one pose that I was talking about. Hard part is now we're lifting this back leg up. So I want you to rotate a little bit to the side or towards that leg. And I want you to inhale, exhale, try to lift this leg. You're going to be like, what the hell? Maybe you might have to go all the way down to try to lift this. And that's fine. It just shows you that that's how tight your internal and how weak your internal rotators are out of your hip. If you're somebody who could sit up nice and tall and just try to just lift a little bit, that is going to be a game changer for you. You can see my leg doesn't even really go up that high. And I'm a yoga and Pilates teacher, right? So it just, everybody has their own limitations. But we're doing 10 of these. But if you could strengthen and you realize that this is a part that you need to strengthen, it's going to be a game changer. 2, 1, and give it a rest. Let's bring our feet all the way back. Drop the left, and then we drop the right. Sitting up nice and tall. See if we can lift this right leg. I feel like the left leg for most people are always a lot harder. Let's go ahead and lift the right. And now if you do these exercises, I wouldn't really, when you're starting, I wouldn't really recommend doing these every day. I would say every other day. If you want to go ahead and So now we have this saved on YouTube, saved on Instagram. Is that if you do these exercises, start with every other day before you go ahead and bring this into your routine, because you're working muscle groups that you never even knew you had. 1, and rest. Whew. Bring those feet together, and let's go ahead and open up your hips. Keeping yourself nice and tall, upright. We're going to go back into our normal position, our first position, which is when we had our heels up. So now that we just brought some awareness to internal rotation and external rotation, we're going to do something called the windshield wipers. So I want you to sit. I don't know if you can see my hands, but my fingers are all the way back. My shoulders are rolled back, and I want you to rotate your hips to the right, and you're just pivoting on your heels. Think of it as your windshield wipers. And you feel a little bit of this in the core. Rotating back and forth. I feel like I'm kind of scooting myself all the way closer to the camera. So if you see me right in front of the camera here in about 2 seconds, it's because I'm inching my way over it. All right, let me get myself back here. Really am getting out. So one more time right, one more time left, and let's go ahead and bring ourselves onto all fours. Now, since when you tune into these live streams, let me know if anybody. So shout out to everybody tuning and getting into the Amazon store, because I noticed we sold a bunch of these. And they gave me 10 cents for one of these sold. So that shows that you guys are actually listening. So if you have your knee pad, maybe you go ahead, use your knee pad. If you don't have the knee pad, what are you doing? Go to my Amazon store, get the damn knee pad. So I'm going to use my knee pad. And essentially, we're going to do our fire hydrant. So I always show you before I make the video is that this is one of the videos that I'm going to be making that I got to edit, is that watch this real quick, right? I've showed you, maybe you've done a million of these fire hydrants, right? For the glutes. But now I want you to bring that leg down or bring that leg out, but then tap your toe, but keeping your knee up. What's this working? So glad you asked. That internal rotation that you were weak at whenever you're trying to lift that back leg. So just because you tune in to the live streams, I show you the secret exercise before the Instagram world sees it. It's not even secret. Many people have probably done this one before, but it's keeping that knee up, external abduction, and then touch. And then we're doing 3 more. And 2. And 1. And then bring it down. And we'll do the same thing to the opposite side. This knee pad is a game changer. If you don't have this, you're missing out. But make sure that your wrist, your elbow, and your shoulder are all in one line. And we're going to inhale. We got 10 of these. Bring the leg down, tap the foot, come back. And slow and controlled, right? I don't want to see you rushing this, trying to tap and do this, and then next thing you know, you message me, Nick, my knee hurts. Of course it does, because you probably blew your damn knee ligaments out. We don't want that. Exhale, tap, bring it back to center. Out, tap, back to center. Out, tap, bring it back to center. 3 more. Out, tap, back to center. Out, tap. 1 more. Out, tap, back to center. If you have your knee pad, remove it. And let's go all the way into a child's pose. So big toes together, knees as wide as your mat. Walk your hands all the way to the front of your mat, 12 o'clock. Inhale, let's exhale. Take 3 deep breaths here.
Feel your hips open, some muscles, maybe it's some fire burning in there. Inhale, exhale, come all the way up. And again, we are going to cross our legs and we're going to try to sit behind our feet, but we're going to go ahead on our side. Because now that we're here, and if this is difficult for you on your forearm, you can come down on your arm like this or like so. Whatever one's going to be beneficial for you, because again, we got to get into the hips. So first things first is that I want you to get yourself where your knees are right here up in front of you, kind of bent. We have done, or maybe you have done, the clamshells before, right? Where you just open up, keeping the pivot onto your heels. So let's go ahead and just get reacquainted with these clamshells, keeping your heel engaged, just trying to open your hip. And I don't want you doing this, right? Keep everything grounded. Just open this leg up as high as it can go. Because I know you probably never did this one, which is called the reverse clamshell. What the hell's that, Nick? Glad you asked. Keep the knee up, and now we kick that leg, bring it back down. Pivot, knee, down, back. Clamshell, lift the foot, keep the knee up, bring it back down, and in. Up, internal rotation, down, back in. Up. And you're trying to find a rhythm, right? Where it's a 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, back down. 2 more. Exhale. And then bring that knee back down. Stay in this position, because now I want your arm all the way up. And I want you just to bring it all the way back. Find a good stretch here in the chest, in the arms, and the shoulder. And then exhale. Come all the way down using your hand. Bring yourself all the way back up. And let's switch to the other side. So wherever you're at, if you were here, if your arm's down, get yourself back into position. Bend your knees. Heels are together. We got 10 of those normal clamshells where you're just pivoting on your heels. And again, do you feel this deeper into your hip? Do you feel this right into your TFL? Do you feel this in your glute medius? Do you feel this all in the butt? Like, which one do you feel, right? Keep your mind's eye here. See what's being engaged. See where you need to focus on. See where you need to address. I'll tell you what, my whole hips are on fire right now. Let's do 3 and 2. And let's go ahead and do 1 more. And then from here, we go ahead and 1, 2, well, I guess that's maybe 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got this 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want you to find that rhythm. Now, if you can't do these exercises, or maybe you're like, I'm actually getting better at these, this is something to practice, right? I tell you what, the other day, whenever I first found my
in balance. It was an eye-opening experience because I was like, oh, I do all these different things, but I'll tell you what, when I was looking at and this is why you should always have a plan, is when I was looking at my exercise plan, I realized that I was actually skipping internal rotation. Not anymore. Look at that. Look at that. Ooh. One more. Up, out, back, in. And we have one more hip focused, and this is actually the best for last before we get into some more traditional yoga stuff. So, and that's actually right on time when I think about that. That was 20 minutes, 24 minutes. So, roll over onto your belly. Now, I want you to think, if you have a block, if you don't, it's okay. But the reason I like to have the block is I want you to think of squeezing your knees, right? Is the fact that I'm squeezing my knees here. Just that whole contraction. If you don't have the block, which is totally fine, I want you to bring your knees together. Now, let me face you here. If you see my hand, if you see my feet, knees are together. I want you dropping your feet out to the side like this. And then exhale back to center. So it's an inhale out, and then exhale back to center. The reason I'm showing you this from this angle is because I don't know if you'd be able to see, and you might feel a crack in your back. This is, I don't know why we haven't been doing this pose more often, but wherever you're at, knees together, drop your feet out to the side, and just feel the release of your lower back in your SI joint. Exhale back to center. Inhale out. We got this 10 times, starting now. And make sure you keep your knees together. That's going to help give yourself a little bit more internal rotation into those hips. And I'll tell you what, tomorrow and the next day, your hips are going to be sore. So I'm just prefacing that right now. Your hips will be sore, but in a good way. Oh, there was a crack. 2 more of these. And last one. And then go ahead, stretch your legs all the way long. Bring your hands to your shoulders. Inhale, scoop yourself up, squeeze the butt, roll the shoulders back into your high cobra pose. Inhale, exhale, coming all the way to all fours. I want you to tuck your toes under, and then inhale, exhale, press yourself back into a bent knee, downward facing dog. Pressing through with your thumb and your pointer finger. We're sticking the butt back. I want you to inhale, try to bring your right heel down. Exhale, bring your left heel down. Inhale, right heel. Exhale, left heel. Don't stare at your feet. Look straight down or in between your hands. 3 and 2 and 1. And bring yourself all the way up onto your tippy toes, and then walk your hands or your feet all the way to your hands, which should be at the front of your mat. Inhale, exhale, fold all the way down. And if you're, I think up here I'm out, still in frame. Yeah. So right here I'm still in frame. So folding all the way down to slight knee bend. And then your hands come down. I want you to straighten your right leg all the way back. Drop that knee. Untuck your toes. Inhale, reach all the way up. Hands up. Exhale, we rotate into that lunge with a twist that we've been practicing. And again, I want to show you from this side because see how this leg is straight rather than being up, right? Finding this hip flexion, finding the straight, squeeze in the butt, keeping that twist. Feel the core, feel the hip, feel the glute, tuck that toe under. Exhale, hands come down. Lift that back leg, keep the glute engaged. You're going to go ahead, drop that heel. Head comes all the way up for the warrior two pose. Inhale, and then exhale, sink. Hold here. 3 deep breaths. You should feel all parts of your hips, right? Inhale, exhale, sink a little deeper. And then elbow to knee. Bring that hand all the way over. This must be that same playlist I had where it's sort of getting the saxophone going loud. 2, 1, and then come all the way back up. And you're going to go into this wide-legged forward fold position. Let me shut this off. I can't stand this. Johnny Hodge in his orchestra. I do not want to be listening to damn orchestra while I'm trying to get myself. I don't mind it, but we're in this wide-legged forward fold position. Hands right here at your hips. Roll the shoulders down. Inhale, slight knee bend. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Inhale, take another deep breath. And then exhale, the hands come down. Your head comes down. And again, if you want to challenge yourself, bringing those legs a little wider, seeing how far that head can come down. Don't force it. Whatever feels good to you. I know your hips should be open, a little bit more open. Wherever you are, go ahead, stretch those hands all the way out to 12 o'clock. Make sure you have a slight knee bend here. Hold here for 2 to 3 deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, walk your hands all the way in. Walk your feet 3 steps all the way in. Grab your hip hinge and then exhale, pushing yourself all the way out. Now, from this position, I want you to feel, how's the hips? What's going on over there? So wherever you're feeling in your hips, let's work on. The second thing you guys were talking about is standing leg balance. So on our child, we got an ambulance. Okay, scared me. So on our tree pose, one of the things that I want you to focus on is keeping your big toe engaged, right? Because a lot of times when you think about balance, it all stems from your big toe. So we're going to get ourselves into tree pose, but I want you to either go to your level 1, your level 2, or your level 3. I'll give you some time to figure out which level you're going to go at. But whatever level you are at, I want you to focus on pressing that big toe down. Keep that big toe down. Now, don't give yourself a Charlie horse or a cramp, but just enough to realize that having that big toe down is going to engage the arch of your foot, which is going to engage the muscles, which is going to tell your body, it's like right now, I am pushing through my big toe. It's keeping me upright. Wherever you are, let's start our count. Find a place on the wall that isn't moving. Stare. Focus on the breath. Inhale your arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, bring those hands all the way up overhead. Inhale. Slowly come down, arms first, and then the leg comes down. Shake it off. And by now you should be getting a little bit better at that, right? I can't see everybody fall and I can't really tell because I don't usually in the classes that I would teach in person, I'd be able to say, okay, Jamie, you're getting a little bit better. Okay, Jenny, you're getting better. Okay, but I can't tell because I just assume you're getting better. So wherever wherever level you're at on this side, level 1, level 2, or level 3, remember, we do not push on the knee. It's either above the knee or below the knee. Bring this leg back. Make sure you feel the stretch in the inner thigh. Big toes engaged. Rolling the shoulders back. Finding a space on the wall that isn't moving. And then inhaling the hands all the way out to the side. Inhale, exhale, hands go overhead. Inhale, hands come down, and then the feet come down, and then let's stand at the back of your mat. Depending on where I guess you were starting, this could be the front, that could be back, I don't know. But we're over here, we're at the back of the mat. Inhale, hands come all the way up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale to that flat back position. Exhale, walk your hands out 1, 2, and 3 steps. We're going to go high plank, knee, chest, chin. Scoop yourself in, roll the shoulders back. Tuck the toes under, inhale, exhale, push the hips back. You could go into your bent knee down dog, whatever works best for you. Now we're going to do that one flow. If you remember correctly, it was your left leg, ideally. So we're going to inhale, exhale, lift that right leg up nice and high. Step it all the way through our hand, or right in the middle of our hands. We're going to drop that knee. We're going to inhale, scoop all the way up. And again, finding that stretch right here in that back hip flexor. Inhale, exhale, rotating to the right side. Deep breath. Inhale, exhale, unwind. Your hands come down. You tuck your toe under. Inhale, lift up. We drop our heel and we unwind and transfer into that warrior 2 position. So now remember, in your warrior 2, look down, make sure your heel is in line with the back arch of the foot. Feeling your hip, feeling just about everything yelling at you. Inhale, get length. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Inhale, sink a little deeper with the exhale. And then inhale, come up. Toes come together, or actually wide, facing forward. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Legs are still wide. I got to get my coffee. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale, hinge for your wide-legged forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold all the way down. And again, bring those legs a little wider if need be. But then just walk your hands all the way till 12 o'clock. Two deep breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, walk yourself back to center. Walk your feet all the way in. Grab your hip hinge. Exhale, roll your butt down. Lift all the way back up. We're going to go back to the front of our mat, but then this time we're going to do one last chaturanga all the way down on our mat. and then reassess how our hips are feeling. So let's inhale, reach all the way up. Let's exhale, forward all the way down. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, walk 1, 2, 3 to a high plank. You want to challenge yourself, you can go all the way down, lowering yourself. Just don't smash your face. Scoop yourself in. And then tuck the toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, come all the way up to your toes. Exhale, all the way down. And I want you to inhale, step your right knee down. Exhale, step your left knee down. Cross your legs, sit behind your legs. And let's face you here. I want you to tell me how these hips are feeling. So, remember when we first started, I had you sit in the cross-legged pose. Left leg over right. Inhale. Exhale, I want you to reach a little, lean forward. What's that feeling like? If you're going a little further, come back up. Switch your legs. Lean forward. Maybe you're going a little bit more forward. Now let's get back to our normal stance where we were. I don't know why I keep saying this is a normal stance. This is not a normal stance for most people. I want you to have your hands, remember, fingertips facing behind you. Drop that right knee in. Does it feel like I know for me, I can even just see myself a lot better here. Now drop it out. Try it to the other side. And then drop it out. And then now stay in this position. Scratch your nose. Hopefully you don't scratch your whatever. But then windshield wiper. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. And exhale. One more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Bring yourself all the way back into that knee position. Drop your right knee out. Step that left leg back. What does this stretch feel like? Maybe it's a little bit more aware. Maybe you can feel that stretch a little bit more. But I want you to try one lift. Does it feel a little bit easier? Try lift back here. Does it feel tired? Does it feel engaged? Does it feel like something's going on? Now try it to the other side. Try maybe this back leg. Test yourself, right? Because I know for me, my internal rotation last week, it was really difficult for me to get this leg up off the ground. I was really good at getting this leg up off the ground, but this leg, not so much. So I want you to bring those feet together, back into your butterfly pose. Roll your shoulders back, close your eyes as you're flying away. But I want you to just now think about the breath and where you need to focus on. Only you know, because you're the one who did it. Do you need to focus on internal rotation with that back lifting up, that back leg lifting up? Or is it external rotation with that front leg lifting up? Maybe it's a little bit of both. But the thing is now you know what to do if it starts flaring up. So bring your legs, right leg over left. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, all the way out the mouth. Let's do 3 deep breaths here before we finish up. Inhale, deep breath in through the nose. And then exhale out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. One last deep inhale. And then exhale, let it all out.
And then open up your eyes and then feel the new hips, feel your new invigoration. Bring your hands together. Bring your hands to a prayer position and namaste, everyone. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in for our hip-focused mobility, yoga, somewhat Pilates class. Let me know in the comments on YouTube. Let me know on Facebook, Instagram, how you did, where you felt it the most, what exercises you did the most. And to be honest, that's like a now that I think of it, that's like it's like a master class of hip mobility work. Maybe I should you know what? We're always going to give it to you for free. But that right there, I feel like you would have had to charge. You would have had to pay for that for most people. You go to a chiropractor, they would have paid you for that. Not here, right? We got you. So let me know how you felt. Great workout. Woohoo. This was incredible. More like this. Huh, Jenny? More like that. Okay. You like that? Let me see. Great workout. I love it. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. It was something different, right? A little hip workshop. I know for me, my hips needed this, right? You ain't kidding. My hips, ever since I started doing these, my hip is better. Like, I don't want to say like these are like what cured my hip just recently, but I noticed that my hip, like I had an SI joint pain. And as I was realizing, I was like, oh my gosh, I am very tight in internal rotation. Once I started doing a lot of these exercises, I realized, oh my God, I am tight in this leg, not in this leg. But yeah, it's the imbalance thing, but you're able to find it. And I think that's important. My right hip is so bad, and this is very helpful. Love that. Love that. Such a difference at the end, right? I think it was like going to PT, right? That was like a PT class. Like, to be honest, that's what I was like thinking. As I'm in it, I'm like, damn, this is like a master class. But it's what we do for our people. This is what we do for the community. Um, Such a difference at the end. Oh my gosh, I know, right? Whenever I was even like right now, whenever I'm like doing the windshield wipers, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, you don't realize it. I mean, as you do, because it's gonna be sore. Let's be real. PT has PT, but no tears. Uh, Thing is in PT nowadays, when you go to PT, they don't even really work with you. Wow, we're getting some shitty connection issues. Hold on real quick. Hopefully it wasn't like that during hopefully it wasn't like that during the stream where it was just chopping and chopping and chopping. It's cold here. Who the hell knows? Our internet's all messed up. But you're awesome. Thank you. You know what? Thank you for tuning in, right, Teresa? I appreciate that. So we do this every Sunday, right? We do this every Sunday at 10 a.m. We do this every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. So we do give you kind of a chance to do this twice. But essentially, the PM class is 25 minutes and it's more restorative type. So we're going to do it very similar to what we did today based upon hip, but it's going to be more of like a nighttime routine type of thing, right? We are going to be using the wall. So if you do tune in today, we are going to be using the wall and or tonight, and we do have some special announcements that we are going to be doing. So we're actually going to be doing a master class last week, next Sunday. So anybody that tuned in, we got a bunch of good feedback from the vision board event. We're going to do another masterclass event, very similar, back to the basics, teaching you some strategies to get yourself back on track. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to release some more information about that going forward in the next couple of days. But I like to announce it here with all my people on the live stream. Back to the basics. Get yourself ready from all the overwhelm rather than being like, what the hell do I have to do? Well, let's figure it out together, or we're going to all figure it out together, right? And really build some structure. So it's going to be a fun time. Free masterclass. We do this we're going to try to do it once a month. So we did it December. It was the last Saturday of December. And we're going to do this for for a Sunday in December. So we're trying to build some structure. So make sure that wherever you're tuning in from, I apologize. I was trying to save this onto our Facebook group, but I guess I didn't do it right. I don't know, but it's on Instagram. So, and the only reason you can actually save it is if you're a subscriber. So if you subscribe for $2.99, you can watch it again, right? And what are you doing? $2.99 helps the channel out, helps me make these videos. But besides that,
Thanks everybody for tuning in. That was our hip and mobility focus class. I got to go walk it off because I feel like I have like some different internal rotation. Honestly, I should probably start kicking the bag of how I feel. Like I probably should. Let's see. Let's see if I can actually like look how I feel like I could kick my leg up real high right now just because of it. See, this is why we do these damn classes. So don't kick yourself in the face. I'll see you at 7 p.m. We're going to do some restorative yoga.